welcome to another episode of Naija Football Talk. It's our first episode of 2021 and we have a lot in stock for you. 2020 was a good year and we hope 2021 can be better. It's just started already, but there's a lot to talk about. Straight into the action, we saw a lot of talking points from the weekend, and when we are back from this break, we'll go right into the discussions.
I know we Chelsea fans are hurting right now. It's been painful to see our team in the last few games. But I think we should still be a bit patient. If one thing Lampard deserves as a young coach and as one of our own, is that he deserves at least a bit of time to try to sort things out, try to get everything into place. Our expectations have to be tempered. We didn't expect to win the title before the start of this season. Let's be realistic about that. And we're still not in a bad position. We can still win 2 games and get back to where we were. So there's nothing to get too emotional about. We can still make good out of this season.
You all know that saying, one day bushmeat go catch the hunter. The bushmeat don't finally catch Lampard though. I told you, this guy is a bad cook. Chelsea fans, you didn't listen to me, now you are saying it, but let's see how it goes. I mean, you see that money can buy you many things, but it cannot change a bad cook to a good cook. So speaking about us now, I mean, we're on a winning run now. I don't want to be hating on my own player every time, but is it rocket science that since Willian stopped playing in our lineup, we've been winning? No. Mikel Arteta should take this thing, put Bukayo Saka, promote that, just leave that guy in that right wing. Don't even take him out, leave him there. Even if he injures, put another place in, don't put Willian. That's it. And we play Manchester United end of the month, January 30th. I'm saying it now on camera that we'll be the one to end these guys' unbeaten run and send them back where they belong.
Yeah, so glad that's now back to winning ways. We've won 3 games on the spin, including Chelsea. Awesome. So that's Bolu down. I think Trey, we haven't really met, but you are next in, I think, 4 games. I'm not going to talk till then. But yeah, the only thing you have that is good is Bruno Fernandes. And I really understand taking digs at Manchester United or Manchester United. But it's not really the guy's fault that he can score PKs and he can score goals. They still take away the fact that he's completely world class. From Manchester United and Martial's ballerine dancing in the box. They use it to take away Bruno Fernandes' class, but he's really good. Fernandes v De Bruyne this season, I think Fernandes is going to edge. I'm saying it again, but that doesn't mean that Manchester United is anything. And for the title race, well, you guys gonna enjoy film, but I still Liverpool going.
We're back in the studio, guys. As earlier said, this is our first episode of Naija Football Talk. I'm Kolade, and in the studio we have our regular faces, Skilashi and Bolu. Yeah, so how was your weekend, guys? Happy New Year, by the way. Happy New Year. Hope the new year started well for you.
It started well, but not in football terms.
Okay. Oh, what happened?
We know what happened to Chelsea.
Oh, we are coming to Chelsea. There's a lot of time for Chelsea, but let's look at all. Let's look at all the talking points from the weekend's action. For the first time in about, it feels good to be saying Arsenal won another game. You know, Arsenal.
We're on the winning streak.
Yeah, three games. Arsenal defeated West Brom. Tottenham won Leeds. Yeah. Manchester United defeated Aston Villa, and a certain bridge in West London was, capsized, destroyed, and all of that. So let's start with Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. I don't want to get carried away with this run. I mean, we beat West Brom, although we beat title challengers Chelsea along the line. So, but still, I don't want to get carried away. Those are just small teams that we beat. But like, how long do you think Mikel Arteta can keep this up?
Well, I think he can keep it up for as long as we want him to keep it up. As far as we were able to stick with him through that dry spell, I'm sure that right now we'll be able to be gaining some confidence.
And if the transfer window is open now, do you think if we can make 1 or 2 signings?
We already have Partey and nobody knows that. We beat Chelsea.
That's true. He's coming back next week. Yeah, well, so give us your thoughts on Manchester United. These guys, they beat Aston Villa. They were not at their best, but at the end of the day, they got all the 3 points that matters. Do you think this attitude can be crucial for them in title race?
Yeah, it's helped them so far. It's helped them to get out of jail a few times since Ole got there.
Yeah.
It's also the spirit has remained there this season. They've been fighting. They've actually done well to come from 15th position back to joint first within a month or thereabouts, which is very good.
No, they were
13th or thereabout. They were very, very close to
bottom half.
that range.
So
Yeah,
there's
bottom
hope
half.
for people.
There's hope for people, of course.
So, well, they've done well. Bruno keeps doing bits, the penalties, the assists. My FPL is booming. So, as long as Bruno keeps performing, I don't mind. As long as it's on my FPL.
So moving on to coming back to North London. Yeah, Tottenham, they got back to winning ways. 3-0 win over Leeds, Hurricane, Ungo and all of that. So do you still see Tottenham as a driving force, or you just think they'll be there to make up the top 4?
I think they'll be thereabouts. The only problem with them is obviously the style of play.
Yeah.
They are too
laid back in their
modest.
approach,
Sometimes.
And when it doesn't click, they can look very flat.
Exactly. When you don't allow them to, when you surrender possession to them, they basically don't know what to do with the ball. Hurricane is just enjoying himself in a deeper role. Son is enjoying himself.
In my
on the
opinion,
counter.
I already said I feel like there are going to be about 5 teams contending for the Premier League title. So they are obviously.
Tell me Arsenal are part of them.
Let's I mean, we can win trophies. Arsenal can win trophies, but we're not contending for the title. Only one team is going to win the title, but some people's trophy this season will be that they contended for the title.
Okay, so let's move over to the man of the hour. Let's go to West London, where we saw I don't know what to call that game. 3-1 defeat. Chelsea suffered a 3-1 defeat at the end of. I don't want to call that Manchester City. I just want to say it was Chester City, because that was City's sitting. To me, they beat you with Zac Efron in goal, Zinchenko and those small boys, and they just decided, okay, let's score our 3 in first half.
It was a mess of a game. I was very disappointed. The first 15 minutes were good, but during that 15 minutes good spell, I foresaw that if City got hold of the ball and got control of the game, which I expect them to do.
Let me take you back. You said you foresaw that. You also foresaw that with ZH back, with Pulisic, everybody fit, I remember his words saying we have depth all over, and definitely title. All of them played. Mendy
I didn't say we were title contenders. I said we would be in the conversation, competing with Liverpool and Tottenham and whoever else is in the race this season. I never said we were going to win the title or anything like that.
You also called when Timo Werner and elite striker, and this guy is yet to score in 12 games now. Bukayo Saka has more goals. Bukayo Saka has more goals in 2021 than Werner has in the past 2 months combined. I mean, that's sad, bro.
I would take all the banter, to be honest. There's nothing to defend. There's nothing to defend that team about.
60 million striker. I keep saying on this show that Lampard is a bad cook, but you all think I'm hating on the guy. Can you see it now? Just money, vibes, and inshallah, nothing else.
But let's not get too carried away as well. The season we are in, I would keep saying it. The season we are in, the table is very. Hold on, the table is very volatile. You can win 2 games and find yourself in.
You can also lose more.
Also lose 2 games and find yourself down.
Because there are 3, we are just 3 points apart. So
relegation
in this same life,
relegation side Arsenal.
In this season, let me remind everybody. In this season, the way that we've seen the table so far, let's not get carried away by position or form, because you remember that Aston Villa were also top of the table. Everton have been top of the table this season. Leeds have been top 6. Chelsea have been top of the table. So it's a very, very volatile table. You can't just make claims. You can just say, okay, the moments.
Let's just talk about the man, the man facing all the pressure now, Frank Lampard. Just after that game, the Athletic released a report that Frank Lampard is on hanging on a thin thread at Chelsea, and I would like to say that if Lampard was not a club legend, if he doesn't have that nostalgia around him, Roman Abramovich is not that patient.
Of course.
He might have sacked this guy.
But I think this time Chelsea wants to do something.
But he spent 200 million. There's no
we can't just say he spent 200 million without looking at the circumstances.
So, Bodo, as a Chelsea fan, are you saying the answer is Lampard out, or do you think Lampard just needs to change some things that he's doing wrongly?
I don't think, for me personally, I'm not with the school of thought that think he should be sacked just because we lost we're in a bad form of 6 games over Christmas period. It can happen to any team. We're in a very strange season. Arsenal were in a run of 7 games without even scoring.
But now
and they stuck with their manager now. It looks like they're on top of the world. So it's just the nature of the league this season.
Chelsea, not the world. Just
you are not ahead of Chelsea.
Chelsea's problem started from Arsenal. Chelsea's problem started from Arsenal when Arteta
losing to Arsenal. Yeah, that was shameful.
That losing
But like going back to where we were, I don't think we should say Lampard out. I think it's a process. You can't get things right in one season. You can't get everything done. So it's just a matter of it's a process. You have to
So, but no matter what the reports are saying, it's still more than likely Chelsea will give Lampard till at least the end of the season. So let's go for a short break now, and when we are back, we'll be discussing the talking points from other leagues across Europe. Alright guys, we're back again in the studio talking about other leagues and talking points from the weekend. I'm sure Bolu must be excited now. We are done with all the Chelsea related
dragging.
Let's move straight into action. So it's a new year, but it's the same old Ronaldo. Skalashi, you are a Ronaldo. We know you are a Ronaldo lover. So this guy is 35, but he continues to age like fine wine. 13 goals, top scorer currently in the Serie A. What do you have to say about this guy?
Goals in 20 calendar years now. 20 different calendar years he has scored.
So just give us your thoughts on Ronaldo.
He's the standard for standard. He will just keep setting a standard for you. 35, still. Zlatan is what, 39?
39.
Yeah. I'm sure he in his mind wants to play like 3 more years.
Yeah, he said that already. That he wants to play 4 more years.
And if he keeps up the form this year, we might reconsider him again for Ballon d'Or. He just needs to take Juventus somewhere close.
So, but you're backing him to win the top scorer award.
Oh yeah, he can do it easily. So, Italia.
But you don't forget Ibrahimovic is there.
No, Ibrahimovic is not the problem. The problem is Lukaku. The problem is Lukaku.
He has maybe 3 career golden boots, while Ronaldo has like maybe 20.
10 goals now, and Ronaldo has double his appearances, and that's just 4 more goals.
Yeah, okay. So
Ibra is a phenomenon.
Fine. There's nowhere we mention.
I'm just looking forward to that.
There's nowhere we mention Ronaldo
this season.
There's nowhere we mention Ronaldo, and we won't mention Messi. Of course, 2 of them are just like they are together. They will always be tied together. So Messi didn't score, but he's always the star of the game, no matter what. There's always something to talk about. He created the assist, beautiful assist for De Jong, to slot home. That was, the only goal of the game. Barca were not at their best, and I dare say, Barca fans, you might agree or not, but Barca look better without Messi. They look more fluid without Messi, because when Messi is there, they know that okay, this guy is the one for brilliance. They sort of have this reliance on him. But it's good because I see Messi living in the summer. So, but like Bolu, what do you have to say? 500 appearances, 500 La Liga appearances, 750 Barcelona appearances in total. He's 17 away from equaling Xavi's record. How big of a feat is that?
The numbers speak for themselves. He's the GOAT, and Messi just he breaks records every weekend. It's sickening sometimes. Barcelona lose, they win, they score 1 goal. Messi has a record to talk about. It's just phenomenal. Yeah,
so another player that has been putting himself, he's trying to join this Ronaldo and Messi conversations, Lewandowski. And it would be wrong if we don't talk about the real GOAT. They are GOAT, but there's the real GOAT. And speaking of the actual GOAT, Victor Osimhen, star boy of Napoli, but unfortunately he got himself in big soup.
Our GOAT be making mistakes.
Partying in Lagos, reckless partying, no marks, spraying money. Look like foreign currency too. So what do you have to say about that? Gattuso said he's going to punish him for his mistake. This is someone that was still struggling to get into Serie A football. 2 goals, he was still recovering from his shoulder injury. So how much do you think this could affect his transition into Napoli?
I don't think it will affect his transition so much because Osimhen as a person, I think is very determined as a footballer to prove his point on the pitch. So in terms of coming back from this, I don't think you have a problem. But as for the part where he got himself caught, he should understand.
He's a celebrity there.
He's a professional. He wasn't professional about it.
So the moral lesson of the day is never get caught in 4K.
Yeah.
If you want to do anything, do it on code, but never get caught in 4K. That's the moral lesson from Osimhen. So yeah, Bolu, now we're talking about another, big event that happened over the weekend. French giant PSG brought in Pochettino as their new. That was the big. So there have been people have different opinions. People say, oh, this guy can lead them to the Champions League finally that they've been craving for, and people say, it's just another signing. What's your take on Poch in PSG quickly?
I think it's a game changer for them. They win the Ligue title all the time, but Poch would give them that pedigree in Europe. He took Tottenham to the Champions League final with little resources.
Just to ask you briefly, can they win the Champions League with Poch?
Definitely, I think they can. They're one of my favorites right now. Yeah.
I remember on
the signing of
one
Poch.
of someone's episodes, you asked us for some, favorites to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think you guys should go back to the episodes.
Now
it's very, very, very realistic with
he mentioned a certain Chelsea the other time. Now he has changed to PSG.
I mentioned Chelsea as Champions League favorites.
You mentioned Chelsea.
If you are in the knockout stages, you can win it. Is that not?
You can't even beat Atletico.
Statistically,
yeah.
They can win.
Yeah. So, but now, okay. Aside the idea of improving PSG, there's the idea of Neymar and Mbappe. How much do you think he can manage those players, Poch?
He's an experienced manager in the Premier League already, and managing people like Harry Kane and they might not be they might not be the same standard and celebrity and pedigree level.
Harry Kane is almost as big as some of the biggest names
in terms of ego and
and
all those type of things.
I
can't say it would affect because Neymar is really unpredictable, but for someone like Mbappe, I think Pochettino will have that under control because most of the time coaches who win with their football don't really have player management issues. They just win and they're either on or off.
Okay. So you're backing Poch to be a successor?
Yes. Relatively. So, at least, even if he doesn't win the Champions League in his first 2 seasons, I think the threat level of PSG will be far higher.
That fear factor will be there now. Yes.
They will have it really assertively.
Okay. So, but
and I think the mentality as well of PSG being butlers in Europe would also go. That would evaporate.
Okay, so if you are not careful though, the next club will be talking about a manager change if you're Chelsea, so just be careful. So we'll have to take a break now, and when we're back, we'll be discussing one very controversial topic that came up during the backroom conversations. Stay tuned for more.
Hey, Trey here, and I'm going to give you some reasons why I feel Man United are going to be crowned Europa League winners for 2021. First of all, there's a significant difference in quality between the Champions League and the Europa League, and this season we've probably been the most informed side in the Europa League. We've had phenomenal quality in our attacking line, and defensively we also look really solid in recent weeks with players like Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Martial, Cavani. I don't think there's really going to be anyone who's going to be able to stop our attacking threats and quality, and we've looked really dangerous against. We're capable of beating any team in the world on our day, and it's going to be really tough for those Europa League teams, especially with their quality, and which is significantly lower from the Champions League sides, to fully stand the chance of stopping us. Plus, away from home and defensively, away from home we've been phenomenal, probably the best away side in the world, and defensively we've massively improved, and that's just good. I just think those reasons are going to take us over the edge and lead us to the trophy.
We are back. We're continuing this episode straight to a controversial point that, we are arguing in the back room, and something came up, and we felt it would only be right if we bring this topic right here in front of our viewers. But just before we go into the discussions, this segment is brought to you by Top Bet, our betting partner. Latest reviews, daily tips, they got you covered. Just visit the website on your screen, topbet.com.ng. And if you also want to put your money where your mouth is, there are daily tips for you there. Every day, all the matches across Europe, and they have you covered. So let's move into the conversation proper. We're talking about Manchester United, their resurgence over the past few games. They have a 10-game unbeaten run in the Premier League, joint top of the Premier League table with Liverpool, and they have a game in hand, right? So now we move that to Ole. City and Manchester City, they play in the League Cup semi-final on Wednesday, and we're talking about the fact that can Ole break his duck of losing he lost 3 semi-finals last season. Will this be the time he breaks his duck? And it led to another talk of the Europa League. Manchester United, based on what we've seen so far this season, are they favourites in the Europa League? And of course, we all have different opinions on that, and we just think we should share that with our viewers here. So, Bolu, starting with you, Manchester United, are they favourites? Like your top 5 sides to win the Premier League? I mean, to win the Europa League, will you pick Ole and United?
For me, I don't think switching Bruno's green Sporting jersey to red would make him automatically an Europa League winner.
Okay.
It takes more than that. Winning an European title is not just by bringing your penalty VAR form into the Europa League. It's a lot of things involved. So I think there are stronger teams like AC Milan.
And don't forget that by then there will be the issue of fatigue. They'll play on Thursday and they'll play on Sunday. Bruno cannot play all those games.
Yes, of course. And without Bruno, you wonder what Manchester United are.
They are one Bruno from crisis.
Aside that, I feel like there are even stronger teams who have built that momentum from the beginning of the season.
So can you give us your top 5 teams to win the Europa League?
There are teams like AC Milan.
Okay.
There are teams like Benfica who are playing Arsenal.
No, who beat them? Just take.
There are teams like Tottenham and Jose Mourinho.
Yeah. Who beat Manchester United 6-2 earlier this season? 6-2. They didn't score.
It was 6-1. Yeah, 6-1. And Mourinho was the one who led Manchester United to their last Europa League final. So you can't rule them out.
True.
So they are
Jose Mourinho.
Yes, of course, you can't rule them out. The Mourinho factor, you can't rule that out. Mourinho won the Europa League in his first season at Manchester United, so why can't he do that at Tottenham as well?
AC Milan, Tottenham.
AC Milan, Tottenham. We have teams like Napoli. We have teams like good teams like Leicester as well, Arsenal, Benfica. You know, it's going to be a competitive. We also have teams like Shakhtar Donetsk. You can't just rule those teams out.
Okay, so Bolu says Manchester United are not favourites to win the Europa League.
Yes.
We hope Manchester United fans don't crucify you for this. What's your take?
Whatever. I'm going the other way because I think you shouldn't have gone at Bruno Fernandes. You say
he's an Europa League merchant. He was an Europa League merchant at Sporting. Okay. So you cannot switch his green to red jersey and expect him to win it.
Okay.
I think you shouldn't have gone at Bruno because
did that strike you in the heart?
No, not really, because now you were talking about one individual instead of Manchester.
But Bruno is Manchester United.
Exactly. So if Bruno wasn't in Manchester United, they wouldn't have a chance to win the Europa.
So now that is there.
Bruno in Manchester United, that is the exact factor that gives them.
But Bruno with Manchester United is what led them to the 10-game unbeaten run, which they are in currently.
Exactly.
And what have they done in that 10-game unbeaten run? Bruno penalties, Bruno influence.
Okay.
Almost every single game.
Okay, but this same Bruno was in a game that happened to be against a certain dangerous PSG. Right,
but that's PSG. You won't find teams like PSG in the Europa League.
Manchester United could beat PSG. It means they can go. If Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United could beat PSG, it means they can literally go toe to toe with any name.
You also need to remember they couldn't beat Istanbul
from beginning to end.
They couldn't beat Istanbul, Başakşehir, and those are the kind of teams you find in the Europa League.
It's just
you won't find
me.
Like PSG
I don't know about you guys. But for me, Manchester United, they are not favourite anything to win Europa League. Cup. They are not favourites. I mean, this is the same Manchester United that relegation threatened Arsenal, beat them at Old Trafford. Crystal Palace have beaten these guys. This season. 6 out of Bruno Fernandes' 11 goals have come from the penalty spot, and we all know that the incompetence from the referees in the Premier League is not the same with Europe. Yeah, we see more cultured cases of VAR than the Premier League. So I don't think VAR will be on their side in the Europa League. And let's face the fact that it's They'll play games on Thursday. They'll play games on Thursday. I think fatigue is going to come. It's going to.
Bruno doesn't.
And we also need to remember that they are one Bruno injury away from crashing.
I don't see Manchester United. But I'm not being Arsenal. We are still.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're good. I think we'll win the FA Cup this year. You know?
Yeah, our usual title. Our usual.
And if you don't,
shame some people.
Alright, so
if you don't, trust me to drag you.
Okay, guys. So unfortunately, we have to wrap up this segment. We want you to join the conversation. Send us your comments. Send us your thoughts. Yeah. Tell us what you think. Can Manchester United win the Europa League? Are they favourites and why? We'll be looking forward to your comments in the comment section below. And when we're back, we'll be giving you our final segment for this brilliant episode. Stay tuned. Unfortunately, we have to call it a close now, and our time is up for this episode. We started 2021 in style. It was a brilliant one, and we hope we can do better from now on. It was nice having you guys in the studio, Skelashi and Bolu.
Moments again very soon.
Bolu, I'm happy to see that you are finally smiling once again. You know, we hope next episode you bring back that your usual swagger.
2020 scores. Arsenal won.
Chelsea.
How many episodes have you been?
Alright, so let's it was a nice episode as usual. We enjoyed ourselves in the studio and we hope you did. Don't forget to do the usual, like, subscribe, and don't forget, most important, give us your comments in the comment section below. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you are thinking about.
No more ratioing us, please.
Yes, important. Don't ratio us, please. But unfortunately, we know someone here will still give us that ratio. It was a nice episode from us. Everybody enjoyed ourselves in the studio and we hope you did. From now, we say goodbye at Naija Football Talk and see you same time next week. Peace out.